Hi, I'm the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is your date to remember tarot reading for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. So I've already laid out the cards for you connected to the three most significant dates in August. And the first of those dates is August the 15th. On this day, you will be dealing with some kind of falsity. So that means that either you or someone you're involved with is presenting a false face in the relationship. Perhaps there's a secret agenda. Somebody may be very different from the picture that they're presenting. Somebody could be acting with pretense, pretending that they have your best interest at heart, when in fact that's not the case at all. So that could be you or someone you're dealing with. This may be a false friend, a liar, an opportunist, an imposter, a con of some sort. So you're really having to sort through what is the truth behind situations. And it may tie to some kind of boundary that's being pushed, some change where there's a new perception about a situation or the need to wake up. Perhaps you're looking for some kind of new horizon. Now, somebody may have presented a false face about why they just disappeared. You know, they've fallen into a rabbit hole and you don't know what happened. Or you're wearing a mask about, and becoming inaccessible. Now, also, given the time that we're living in and what's going on, perhaps wearing a mask becomes critical. Because you also have, I trust myself not to choose toxic, and instead I choose me. So again, you may be looking at situations where you feel somebody hasn't been completely honest, you're recognizing that toxicity and choosing to turn away, or you're dealing with somebody who's seeing that in you and they're not participating. Could also be, again, you recognize that we're living in a toxic environment where it's important that you wear a mask. Now, on the 19th, you have the Death card, which of course has very strong ties to your sign. This is about the release, the transformation of something. So there's an ending on this day, or a complete transformation, so much to the point that now something is completely different and unrecognizable. It could actually be a death of a situation, a circumstance, and heaven forbid, a person. But you are releasing something, letting go, surrendering to the circumstances. Now, maybe it's the end of harmony, or the death of a friendship, or some kind of disturbance. This could be a crisis-oriented situation or something very stressful. And maybe it ties to some kind of life challenge. Could be surgery, could be a health crisis. It may be centering on large sums of money or inheritance or debts, insurance, psychological insight, sexuality. So there could be issues connected to trying to retain harmony under stressful situations. Could also be issues, perhaps, if there's been some falsity over money, or trying to mask an illness, or keeping a sexual relationship undercover. Whatever it is, either things are falling into place, or there's the end of a struggle, you're making a decision, or you recognize that you need to seek some kind of harmony, some kind of peace within a circumstance. You have, I'm not afraid of the heat, which says that regardless of how stressful, how crisis-oriented, you are ready to go the distance. You can withstand whatever the challenge is, and you're up for that challenge. And of course you are Scorpio, because you are the phoenix that rises from the ashes. So you know better than anyone else about transformation, coming up against intensity. The last date is the 28th, where we have a rebirth. So we have death and rebirth. something is changing and changing for the better. So maybe you're making some positive personal changes because of your relationship. Or it could be, again, if this is sexual, maybe you are reawakening to some desires and feelings that you thought were dead. Your intuition, the rebirth of wisdom is at play here, where you're opening up to your higher self. You're gaining some knowledge or getting the truth where there's been falsity, or perhaps seeking some kind of spiritual guidance in order to rebirth a situation. So your relationship may be making a positive transformation. You could be making some changes, and your relationship may revitalize, renew, or start again in a new form. Some of you may be, re-entering the dating scene. Maybe you're a social butterfly. Perhaps you are changing your appearance. For some of you, perhaps this is some form of cosmetic surgery. But there is positive transformation taking place, and I revel in my own beauty. So again, it could be awareness of making some positive changes, beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside. Now, the underlying card is the romance card, and so you possibly may be dating. Maybe you are offering some kind of romantic gesture or receiving that. You could be in the initial stages of courtship. So this is, all of that sweet stuff, romance, candlelight dinners, sweet talk, connection to a loved one, attraction. And you have serendipity. So there's something tied to your hopes and dreams connected to romance. And this is a lucky period where the results may surpass your expectations. So there could be some kind of unexpected gift that's romantic in nature, an opportunity for romance, or the realization that you need to take some action to create romance in your life. And in fact, you have the reconciliation card. So someone from your past is returning to your life, and you need to make an offer. You need to make an offer to reconcile. Perhaps, something ended under some kind of negative circumstance, or you were only pretending that you wanted something to end. Somebody was wearing a false face, but actually there's the opportunity to rebirth. But you have to step out there and make the offer. There's a need to take some action. And your muse energy is Isis rebirth. So this is very scorpionic. The death card, the rebirth card, and now your goddess of rebirth, Isis. So let's see what Isis has to say for you. The process of soul retrieval, resurrection, and rebirth is the theme recurrent through the stories of the Egyptian goddess Isis, and one that she invites you to address now. This is a powerful moment to see some of what you thought you'd lost through a process of regeneration to live again. Like magic, the pieces of you that you were considered lost in old wounds and stories are ready to be reclaimed in a healthier, more mature version. Where you were hopeless, now there's hope. Where you were lost, where you had lost faith, you have the capacity for even more now. Where there was inequity and injustice, now you can see a better way. Where you were abandoned, now you can choose you. You are ready to face these parts of yourself and to gather them together as you step into a newer, more powerful version of yourself, your work, your relationships, and your creativity. Have courage. Let go of blame. Claim your accountability. And then co-create something better. You can do this. The goddess Isis has come to help you as a potent supporter in your growth. So you may have to get past, something that you perceived as negative or false. And maybe let the false self end or release something of falseness for a rebirth, whether that's a personal transformation or a reconnection to somebody where you revitalize a relationship. But there is some reconciliation, whether that's reconciling something within yourself or connecting to another person. And perhaps you start this off with some kind of romantic gesture. All right, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notify bell button, and please leave me some comments.